Welcome to Britain. Just shops closed everywhere. Because people can't afford to open them. They can't afford the rates, the VAT. So it's not a viable business to open them. So people sit on the dole. Shops stay closed, and the ones that do get open are plagued with shoplifters, criminals. This is sad Britain. All of them shut. Broken Britain.
The VAT is institutionalized theft, for those Yankees wondering, and usually what happens in the United Kingdom then usually happens to the United States. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Radowski here of WeAreChange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely crazy, wild, and bewildering news to get into today, as of course we have updates from AOC, Michelle Obama, this year's crazy election cycle, and a larger fall of the Roman Empire, which a lot of people are comparing to the current state of affairs here inside of the United States, including individuals like Elon Musk that have a lot to say, specifically about the immigration policies that are perplexing for those who are not paying attention. We're going to be talking about that, plus all the latest news here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally shared by Wall Street Silver, who actually recorded it. I don't know who this person is, but the utter devastation, the fifth generational warfare, the attack on average, everyday, blue-collar Americans is something that isn't just happening in America. It's happening all over the Western world. Birth rates are plummeting. Economic issues are becoming more severe. Tensions are growing internationally, and we have more uncertainty than ever, especially when it comes to this year's election cycle, as a lot of people are still bewildered that Joe Biden is running for the presidency of the United States, as Michelle Obama's office just literally released a statement and announced that the former First Lady will not be running for the presidency in 2024. This after a lot of rumors, a lot of speculations, a lot of people saying that they want to see Big Mike become president of the United States. We even made a t-shirt about this that might not be too family friendly to show you here. And this statement does come at a very interesting time, especially after the Supreme Court ruling 9-0, allowing the former president of the United States to be on the ballot box, which now means, according to many political analysts, that the Democrats will have to beat Donald Trump at the ballot box and not in the courtroom, leaving them in a very desperate, not so advantageous situation, as the current 81-year-old president of the United States definitely doesn't have a lot of energy behind him. Now, they are pulling out all the stops here. The Swifties are even coming out, as of course Taylor Swift just urged 282 million of her Instagram followers to vote on Super Tuesday, as a lot of people, even under the Democratic Party, are voting president, protesting the current president of the United States. This, as it's fair to say, that the overwhelming woman base will be voting for the Democratic ticket, as the power establishment is trying to use Taylor Swift as their main kind of galvanizing war cry here. Will it be enough to secure the election? Well, only time will tell, as of course this will be, according to my own analysis, a nail-biter. A lot closer than a lot of people expect it to be. And I think, as I've speculated on yesterday's podcast episode, that there's a big chance here that Joe Biden is going to be winning the next election, even though the Democrats are involved in a lot of different controversies. As AOC, a congresswoman who has told people that protesting is meant to make people feel uncomfortable, was just made to feel uncomfortable at a protest against her for her stance about the current situation in the Middle East, as protesters confronted her at a New York City movie theater, leaving her to flip out and curse out the protesters who were demanding her address some of the critical issues in the region unfolding right now. As Victoria Nuland, a woman in the center of a lot of geopolitical controversy and conflicts in the world right now, has just announced that she is going to be retiring very soon. As Glenn Greenwald called her one of the most psychotic, bloodthirsty warmongers to serve in the U.S. government in decades. This as the former top advisor for Dick Cheney, the lady who saw the expansion of NATO under George W. Bush, the lady who called the shots in Ukraine under Obama and Biden, has resigned and is stepping down as the larger proxy conflict that she helped set up in Ukraine isn't looking too good for Ukraine and the countries that, of course, backed it. This as, of course, there's a lot of conversations about a full, all-out, larger world war. And no matter what kind of future we're headed to, it's definitely uncertain. It's very tumultuous, and that's why I created WeAreChange.shop, our own list of supplements that I like, that I personally use. One of my favorites is Take Calm. Another one of my favorites is, of course, the first one that we started with, and that was ashwagandha with black pepper with TakeTheChillPill.com. As, of course, before taking any kind of supplement, make sure to do your own research, make sure to do your own homework, and that's why with all of our 4 products, one of them is getting sold out soon, by the way. I won't say which one, because then they're definitely going to get sold out, but one of them is going to be going out of supply very soon. As whatever product you click on, especially the Chill Pill, we have a video right here in the top right-hand corner that you could click on, and then you could learn about what we have provided to you all through WeAreChange.shop. Again, this has been a very eye-opening adventure, especially when it comes to the business world, which is absolutely crazy to be in. There's a lot of hidden fees. There's a lot of freaking taxes. There's a lot of insanity when it comes to conducting business in our modern day and age. And trust me, I've learned a lot through WeAreChange.shop. Again, check out the great products that we have available to you. Do your own homework, do your own blood work, make sure you're making the right decisions for your health. And that's something that, of course, we talk about extensively on LukeUnfiltered.com, where I talk about and share my personal health journeys. I tell you what's happening behind the scenes here with this independent media organization. And more importantly, we get into issues that, of course, we cannot get into anywhere else. As, of course, now we have the 10th procedure that's going to be pushed on the general public. Yes, you heard that correctly. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all on LukeUnfiltered.com. By the way, we're also going to have major podcast episodes this Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern with Mark Lobin, and probably Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern with some professional UFC fighters. I'll just leave it at that. Stay tuned for that here on this independent media network, and make sure to click the subscribe button while you still can, as it looks like we just had another major worldwide outage of Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, and many other services, including WhatsApp, Google Play, T-Mobile, even YouTube, the platform that you're watching right now, AT&T, Gmail, Oculus, Pokemon Go, as there have been some major internet outages that some people are saying could be related to some kind of cyber attack. It could be related to some kind of solar flare. What's really going on here? We still do not know, but it's fair to say that our infrastructure isn't the best, especially when it comes to the American empire that is prioritizing a population replacement over, of course, its citizenry. As we also found out recently that the Biden administration has been conducting secret flights from Latin American countries into the United States, flying nearly 500,000 people into the United States, all under the cover of darkness and secrecy. This was an effort to allegedly reduce the numbers of crossings at the border. So the Biden administration literally said, yeah, This is fly 'em in. Free airplane tickets paid for by the American taxpayer as, of course, the U.S. petrodollar and the purchasing power of it goes down dramatically. This, of course, affecting a lot of average everyday Americans that now have to pay more for the cost of living as, of course, the cost of housing goes up, the cost of labor goes down, and these policies are essentially the weaponization of the Democratic Party that looks to stay in power forever. We have crippling infrastructure. We have major issues that we have to deal with. And the Biden administration is literally spending your money and its resources, flying people in from all over the world illegally without proper documentation in order to live here in the United States. As Elon Musk has raised some criticisms of this policy, saying that's a lot of planes and a lot of airports. Amazing that they kept this secret for so long, responding to Not the Bee headline as he is describing what's happening right now that could, quote, set the stage for something worse than happened to this country in 2001 when it was directly under attack. Saying specifically that it's just a matter of time until the United States faces another major attack of that magnitude, saying this administration is both importing voters and creating a national security threat from unvetted illegal immigrants. Quote, this is why groups on the far left fight so hard to stop voter ID requirements under the absurd guise of protecting the right to vote. And he definitely makes good points here that I think are worth considering and looking at, as the U.S. government won't even release the names of the 43 U.S. cities that it shipped migrants into. A lot of people are calling what's happening right now treason, as of course this policy has remained secret for a very long time, as paying for the airplane tickets of 320,000 aliens with no legal right to enter the United States, with the U.S. government escorting them in, highlights an absolutely crazy and absurd situation, as of course the average everyday American is finding it harder and harder to survive. And this could be one reason why Bitcoin is soaring to all-time high prices. This as crime is skyrocketing all throughout major Democratic city areas. Businesses are finding it harder and harder to survive, as Elon Musk even came out and said that the shoplifting epidemic is giving him, quote, late-stage Roman Empire vibes, as he said America is going full Joker. Going on and later saying that America will fall if it tries to absorb the world, as he's retweeting people who describe the current situation as the destruction of the West and of America. And when you look at the fall of the Roman Empire, there are a lot of very interesting parallels here. There are a lot of very interesting things that are easy to compare here, especially when it comes to the average time period of an empire, which the United States seems to be at the end of. And if that happens, this, of course, signals a greater danger and a greater instability, not just to the United States, but to the world. As I want to leave the question to you. Are we at the fall of our modern day civilization? Press number 1 in the chat room if you think yes. Press number 2 if you don't think that's the case or situation. Where do you think we are as an empire with American hegemony still reigning supreme on the world stage? Let me know. I'll be curious to start that conversation. I got one more video coming your way on lukeunfiltered.com, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively supporting this independent media organization. And because you do, that's why we are still here. That's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.